Broadcasting live from El Cajon, California, you are listening to Griffin Radio.
It's big, it's beautiful, and you're gonna love it.
Welcome to Breakfast of Imbeciles, the thinking man's analysis of giant hamster balls, lunch lady larceny, ham, and all the other hard-hitting stories cable news doesn't want you to hear.
No, it's not.
It's different.
It's
unusual.
Nice.
Ladies and gentlemen, Breakfast of Imbeciles.
That's right. Here I am, DJ Lunchbox on Griffin Radio, joined with DJ Thunderstruck.
It's the infamous one and only.
Infamous is right.
Yeah.
You have a reputation.
I know.
And I've got Threads and company here.
Oh, I like that.
Good morning.
Threads and
Good
company.
morning.
Threads, you're going to tell us who you're with?
I am here with a very special guest, my baby girl, Deja Williams.
Woo. DJ Deja. I like the sound of that.
Oh,
It's got a good ring to it.
There you go.
Sure.
That's a good one. Let's see. The views, comments, and opinions expressed on this show are those of the individuals and not necessarily shared by Griffin Radio, the media communications department, Grossmont College, or the Grossmont Cuyamaca Community College District. This podcast is copywritten by Griffin Radio and Grossmont College 2018. Thank you very much.
All right, you made it through that one. There you go.
No, well, that shows what a sporting person I am, because I couldn't think of an Olympic athlete off the top of my head who fell and bobbled the landing. So, yeah, I got nothing.
Jesus. Let's just get into the stories.
So, I actually, it's funny you say that, because this morning or last night I was actually looking around for more clips to add for my stories, and I came to the realization that the internet is, of course, a double-edged sword. Because it's it's 9 o'clock at night, and I'm trying to look for some interesting things I can add for today's show, and I just kept getting distracted by these suggested videos on the side column about somebody with an industrial shredder destroying common household items. And I kept looking at it. I kept seeing them on the sides. Like, no, that's stupid. It's just clickbait. I'm not going to buy. 2.5 million views. There's a lot of people. There must be something in that. So I'd click on it. He was throwing in an electric toothbrush and firewood, just random things. And I was thinking, okay, that's fine. I watched maybe 3 of them, kind of fast forwarded. Said, no more. I'm done with this. So I'm not a bowling ball. He tried to shred a bowling ball. Okay, so
Did it happen?
yes and no. Actually, it was a little bit of an epic battle. The he had a nice big custom burgundy SMF strike line bowling ball that he put in this shredder. And the shredder, it's not like a paper shredder where it's a slot. It's a big, like, 2 square foot open top. So it's for actually throwing big industrial things into to destroy. So he dumped the bowling ball into it, and the ball just kind of bounced and giggled a little bit, and then the shredder kind of caught it, and it took a big chunk out of the side, and it looked like a jawbreaker had been bitten into. And I was pretty impressed after that point. The shredder just never actually caught the edge at that point, and it just kind of molested the ball. It just kept bouncing back and forth across the shredder things for the next 5 minutes. Eventually, he gave up and crushed it with an industrial press, which just seemed kind of cruel after the fact, I thought.
Wow, looks like you fell into a deep hole there on YouTube.
Usually it's Wikipedia that I fall into, but what's that?
It's easy to do that.
It really is.
At least it wasn't a 4chan, or Reddit forum.
I have to say, I've never purposefully visited 4chan.
You're doing yourself a favor on that one.
Yeah, I've never heard anything good about it. Reddit, I don't seek out Reddit, but sometimes I can find interesting lists there or something that I'm trying to find. But it's one of those things that I don't get. It's a lot of people just bitching, and I'm not into that. If there's anybody that's going to sit there and complain, it's going to be me, okay? And it's going to be on mic 1.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of that today.
There's plenty of that every Tuesday and Thursday here at from what time are you? From 9 to 10.
9 to 10.
Who am I?
Too
What's
early
going
in the
on
morning.
here? Yeah, every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 10. Here we have breakfast. Can I finish the sentence? Apparently not.
I'll help you.
I'm either too amped up or I'm not amped up enough. I haven't decided yet. Breakfast of Imbeciles from 9 to 10 every Tuesday and Thursday here on Griffin Radio. What on earth are you snorting at over there?
Oh my goodness.
It's just the things that you come up with that are just so amazing. It's funny to me. I'm sorry.
Laughing with, laughing at. We'll never know. I don't know.
A little bit of both.
A little bit, a lot
There
of
you
both
go.
actually. Especially Tuesday when I had 5 of yous in here staring me down. That was epic. It got really hot in here. There was a lot of breathing, a lot of heavy panting.
Mostly from me. Mostly from me.
Mostly from you.
Yeah. I have a tendency to do that.
But we did have we did have cologne going on. We did have that going
There you
on
go.
over here.
DJ Cologne. That should have been your name.
I got. Oh God, no.
DJ CK1.
I'm telling you, I can still change it to DJ Dude Bro. There you go.
But you can't because that's going to be your podcast name.
That's true.
It would be kind of
That is
weird to have an eponymous podcast.
Or I could just seem like a really narcissistic.
Well,
DJ.
I'm glad you said that because that is a perfect segue into just a
Oh,
short
look at
little
that.
short little story that I had, and we didn't plan that out at all.
Patting myself on the back.
None of it, y'all.
Can you even pat yourself on the back with them giant traps you got going on there?
Oh, I try. I'll need somebody to do it for me. I'll need somebody to do it for me.
So I was driving home last week, and I live in the college area, so generally drivers are pretty bad in that area to begin with, which is really unfortunate because a lot of the roads there, except for the main Montezuma strip down through SDSU, all the side roads are pretty quiet. They're sleepy, and the houses or apartments have been there for decades. So this idiot's driving around, and he's got his kind of gray-green convertible Mustang.
Okay.
And he's just blasting. Every time the light changes, he just peels out. He goes about 50 feet, and then there's another light, and he has to slam to a stop. That was bad enough because we're going through a little residential area. It's 25. He's black, and I'm not one of those people that's like, oh my God, you have to listen to all the traffic laws. But it was just getting my goat for some reason.
Right.
Every single time he stopped at a light or a stop sign, he had to lean over and stare into the rearview mirror to fix his fade, to straighten his hair back out. And let me remind you, he's in a convertible.
Wow.
He's in a convertible, so he decides every time he stops, which is about every 30 seconds here, he's got to lean over, and he's got to start fixing his hair in the mirror, and then he blasts off again, and this happens about 6 or 7 times. He just starts doing that whole, trying to comb his hair back into place, and I just, you idiot.
All I can say is why.
Well, the awful cherry on this, the rancid whipped cream in this story was when we got to where I wanted to go, it's a T intersection, so you either go left or right.
Okay.
So he's in front of me, and he starts to move over to the right, like he's going to turn, which is the way I want to go, and then straightens his steering wheel back out because now he's going to turn left, but he's now completely blocked the entire side of our road, so I can't get past him. And he's still fixing his hair. So that was good. That was fun.
Well, he wanted everybody to see his great looks, whether you're going left or right.
The funny thing is, we actually encountered him later that day. That same day, we went out to go get sushi, so we hit the freeway, and he was again in front of us, now with 3 other people in the car, still fixing his damn hair. And then he got on the freeway, and it was just road rage because he was zipping back and forth between all the cars. He would suddenly slam his brakes on for no reason when there was nobody in front of it.
Now, are you sure there wasn't just a little resentment there for the hair? For the hair aspect of that. No,
What are you insinuating?
You missed the days of before where you could flip your hair back, put it in a ponytail.
I still can, but it's just on my arm.
Okay.
Oh my
Okay, well,
God.
there you go. I thought you were gonna go somewhere else with that one.
DJ Lunchbox's words to the wise: drive responsibly, people.
Drive responsibly and drive considerately.
Yes.
Thought you were about to make a joke about braiding your back hair. I thought that's where you were going with that one.
Well, my arms don't turn that way. I mean,
that's why you have help.
and my man won't do it. I've asked.
Oh goodness.
I mean, he has no problem with the braiding, but he draws the line at the barrettes. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's fair.
the goody barrettes.
That's a fair line to draw.
I remember barrettes. I used to wear barrettes.
Those are
I
very
miss barrettes.
very, very fashionable.
You bought a flashback back. Barrettes were
God.
so pretty. Now we just.
There was a look of deep contemplation on your face right now.
Yeah, they're just the most prettiest thing. Just snap them in place and make your hair look cute.
I think she's about to go out and buy some after this. Just go to
And
the
why not?
dollar-
We'll go
the dollar
together.
store.
My
Shoot, count
birthday
me
is in November.
There you go.
Mine's in October.
There's
Oh, what?
High five.
There's
For,
about-
We're fall
Not e-
babies, thank you.
Well,
Yes.
Looks like I already have some ideas for some gifts. Using my shopping list is done.
Gonna use your red points at Target.
There you go. Or maybe that 5-finger discount. Oh, I'm just kidding. I do not condone.
I was gonna say, what kind of Great criminal, just announcing it to Japan before you go out on
I'll
your
probably
crime
end up
spree.
making it on the show as one of the funny news stories. I probably will.
Yeah, I'll be reporting on you someday. Don't
There
worry
you
about
go.
it. You'll be on
That will be my legacy.
Oh my god.
your final show when we report on your court hearing. Let's see. So I just want to do a couple announcements before we go on to other things. Let's see. Today, September 27th, from 7 to 8:15 at the Griffin Gate, Building 60, they have a... Sorry, I just lost my place. It's the Fall Reading Series 2018 celebrating National Banned Books Week and the power of the outsider, with performance readings of marginalized and censured voices. They will be featuring Erica Blunt, Brendan... I practiced this. Brendan Panowitz? What? Okay.
You're good.
Sorry, I thought you were looking at me.
I always look at you.
Strangely.
Seductively.
Brandon Panowitz, Vera Sanchez, Kayla Vizcarra, and the San Diego Slam team. So it sounds like it's going to be a really interesting, kind of controversial novelty banned literature thing outside. So be sure to come by today
That
from
does
7 to
sound-
8:15.
Does sound great. Great opportunity.
Yeah, so that is today only, so do not miss it. Swing by this evening.
Now, by banned books, are they? What do they mean by that?
They mean books that aren't allowed in schools. It's also...
Okay. I see.
I don't actually have
A
any
little bit of
further
Catcher in the Rye,
information.
maybe?
A little bit of that, but also I believe it's probably also involving books that are banned in certain countries. So don't ask me questions.
Well, in my humble expert opinion, they should just ban the book series 50 Shades outright.
That's a whole different show. That is
burn those bad boys.
We could spend the whole morning on.
Use those for firewood.
Well, I haven't read them, so I can't make a decision. But
I don't really think you're missing out on much, just from the looks of the trailers. No, I have not seen one of the movies. Do I need to watch it to know how terrible it is? No, I don't.
So
as controversial as that may to
So anyway, long story short, the 50 Shades books are not banned. They won't be at the show tonight. But
unfortunately,
these are going to be some actual books.
Some good books.
And then tomorrow, don't forget, there's the International Club Bonfire on Fiesta Island from 6 to 9 p.m. You can meet up at the flagpole at 5 p.m. to carpool for $3. Make sure you go by. The deadline to sign up has now passed, so if you haven't signed up, sorry. we gave you ample warning. You have no one to blame but yourself at this point.
That is true. We pimped this one out tremendously.
We pushed this one unreasonably.
Bigly.
And I think it was probably just because of all of the s'mores graphics on here.
Oh, they do make me hungry.
Really drew my eye.
I'm starving.
And it's just clip art.
And they have faces and they're smiling, so that kind of makes it a little bit morbid. How I imagine.
Well, they look happy.
Cramming them in my mouth.
Well, that's exactly how they looked when you were cramming them in your mouth a few weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that is true. That is true.
Yeah. Do I have anything else I want to cover? I think we're okay. There's the Indivisible Club. So if you're interested in political awareness and engagement, join the Indivisible Club. They meet every Monday at 4 p.m. You can hit them up on Snapchat at SDIDGCC. That's San Diego Indivisible.
With liberty and justice for
Grossmont
all.
College Club.
Okay.
Yeah. Always got to screw these things up. Why is that? I'm trying to do good work over here.
You sound like my mother right now.
She called me. We
Oh,
talked. And then I guess last but not least, there's the Circle K International Club. For the fall semester here, they meet every first and third Tuesday of each month at 6:30 p.m., Building 55, Room 256. The Circle K International Club is more than the world's largest student-led collegiate service organization. You can gain resume-worthy skills, find lifetime friends, and do community service that changes lives, including your own. For more information, you can contact oliviamercado7@gmail.com or sarah.martin@gcccd.edu. They have their next meeting coming up Tuesday, October 2nd, so make sure you swing by at 6:30 p.m., Building 55, Room 526. So I think that is well and truly informed. I think we've well and truly informed
I feel so informed
myself.
right now. So informed.
Where did Threads go?
She had to go with her friend Deja. They had to run out. They had to go save the world. You know how it goes.
Be Millie.
Right,
we might have a Brandon sighting, so this could be interesting.
Let's get into this
should
bad boy.
we just kind of flail around and vamp for a minute until he returns to us?
That
or?
seems perfectly fine to me. I mean, I'm still trying to adjust to this morning. I woke up a little later than usual. I wasn't able to have my cup of covfefe, my cup of
Is
coffee.
that what's wrong with you? Is that why you look like that?
Oh, I always look like this, but
No, no. Usually you don't look this bad.
I look a little more deathly tired today. Oh gosh.
Well, did I ever tell you the story about my? I finally got fed up with the people that you see, the little Greenpeace clipboard people marching around malls.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant
they do
campus.
They do it here too, but I only ever see maybe one or two at a time in one area.
Yeah.
But I was down at the Mission Valley Mall, and I don't know if you know the place, but it's basically just one long hallway that has nothing but shoe stores and a Target.
Yeah.
And
I know the one.
So there was a whole bunch of those Greenpeace people standing around, clipboarding. I walked one way, and they were like, "Sir, can I get your time? Sir, can I?" And I was like, "No, I'm just going to ignore you. I'm not into this right now." So on the way back, the same girl attempts to get my attention. So I finally just tell her, without breaking stride, walk and talk. So she walks with me from around the Target side of the mall.
Oh, sweet of you.
And she's talking to me. She's giving me the whole spiel, and I'm, oh, that's it. Okay, that's interesting. I get down to the other end, the Macy's end, and just say, "No, thank you," and then walk away.
Oh, you cold-hearted monster.
Well,
now, what exactly was this woman seeking from you? Was she seeking a donation?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
She wanted me to write her a check.
Wow, a check outright.
Yeah.
Wow, that's very bold.
So I was not having that. And who carries a checkbook anymore? I mean,
I don't know. I always feel so awkward with those things. Like I said, especially being on this campus for as long as I've been and having to deal with these different people. Now, the voter registration people, all right, good, great. I'm glad you're going out there. You're trying to make sure that people are registering to vote so they can, make their voice be heard. I think a couple of days ago it was like National Voter Registration Day.
I think that was yesterday, actually.
Yeah. So that's good. I see things like that. I'm always, welcome to talk to them, but I always let them know, yeah, I'm registered to vote. Thank you. Oh,
sorry, I was doing.
I'm being silenced.
No, sorry, I was trying to.
Oh, was it that bad? My spiel?
Yes. No, I'm
Anyway,
sorry.
But
I was trying to clean house.
Then you get the propositions and then all that, or legalize marijuana. I understand that, but then I have a gentleman come up to me with a clipboard, and then he goes and asks me, "Oh, how do you feel about?" He asks these obvious questions that I'm not going to say no to.
They're just meant to engage you.
Exactly.
And then they're meant to make you feel bad if you don't give him the correct answer.
He comes to me with this question: "Oh, how do you feel about children that are abused?" And I'm like, well, I don't understand how I'm supposed to respond to this. And then, long story short, he comes out. He wants me to donate $20 a month. $20 a month. And I'm looking at this man. I'm checking my clothing. I'm trying to see if I have a Rolex on my wrist. Something to imply that I, a broke college student, would be able to afford $20 a month.
Yeah, of all the places to go, bruh, it's a community college. There's not a lot of disposable income here.
How about you I need somebody to donate $20 a month to me.
How many people in the class do you hear that sit there and go, "I don't have money for ramen this week"?
Exactly.
So I'm going to spend $20 for whatever bizarre political cause.
Hey, I support your cause, but I'll do it in spirit.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are joined with a rare sighting of DJ B. Millie.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
Come in to join us with our breakfast of imbeciles.
Oh, I love it so much.
Tingling with excitement everywhere. I'm ready to do this.
Feeling good all under. Absolutely.
Under the hood. Let's go.
So I guess with that we can. You know what? Let's go ahead and take a quick break here. So we'll just get reset and we'll come back here in just a moment.
I'm ready.
So this is Pump Up the Jam with Technotronic.
Ooh. Love it.
Which is not playing. Oh, there it goes.
It'll go.
It's not.
There you go.
What a classic.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Breakfast of Imbeciles. I am DJ Lunchbox here on Griffin Radio with
the one and only DJ Thunderstruck
and
DJ B. Millie.
B. Millie.
Yes, me.
The legendary.
That's me.
That's me. That's me. I'm Miley Cyrus.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
So with your opening of the detectives, obviously you're Sherlock Holmes. Who's your Watson?
Oh, God.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
That's a really good question.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Well, whoever it is.
I asked the good questions.
Well,
here.
whoever it is, I'm sure your
In
Watson comes up short.
In fact, I'm being segued by everybody today. I have a list of questions here. As a
Oh,
matter
wow.
of fact, to ask.
Love it.
We are
so,
professionals.
Also, before we start, found out that this is the music and the station that they play in the Griffin Center
Really?
while everybody is like sitting down and eating their meals. So, hello everyone.
So,
if you're listening.
all the people that are
I am
asleep
so
on the couches
sorry.
in the Griffin Center right now, taking up all the available sitting space for people that might actually need it, are listening to this right now?
I'm so sorry, listeners. He does not mean this.
Why not?
Hey, you let them
You don't
live their
speak
life.
for me.
You let them live
I
their
am on
lives.
mic 1. We discussed this.
Enjoy your
I'm on the
breakfast.
board.
Enjoy your breakfast burrito while you listen to the sweet sounds of my voice.
When's that going to start?
And does that sound? I feel like they just changed the channel after that one. All right, they switched over.
So I came up with I didn't come up with these. I found these. I should clarify everything on this show is found, not made.
Okay.
So just some interesting questions that I thought we could noodle around with because they are things that keep me up at night.
I'm extremely down.
I think we just need to just sit back and contemplate for a little bit. If bike is short for bicycle, is Mike short for mycicle?
Oh wow.
Do reporters wear pants behind the news desk? Well, I think we can answer that question in here right now.
That is a
resounding
hard no.
Yeah.
That is a hard no for anybody that's taken broadcast. That is a hard no.
Or a slightly turgid no, but same difference one way or the other.
Yeah, but yeah, why would you? I'm never going to stand up when presenting the news. Why would I?
Well, you'd have the monitors in the way too, so even people in the next room would be spared the sight.
I'm rocking bicycle shorts all the time.
Why did Mrs. Frizzle teach kids about using science with a magic school bus?
That is true. Wow.
That's fair.
You're blowing my mind.
If Europe uses euros, shouldn't Africa use afros?
Oh God. Jesus Christ.
If I downloaded a movie in Jamaica, would that make me a pirate of the Caribbean?
Oh, sweet Jesus. Whose father wrote these?
If steroids are illegal for professional athletes, should
Yeah.
Photoshop be illegal for professional models?
Now, that's actually a fair question.
That is fair.
That is actually a legitimately fair
No, I'm
question,
tired-
aside
yeah.
from the joke.
I'm tired of these 60-year-old models, like, with their touch-ups, making me think like they have no crow's feet. I know you don't look perfect.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, like, I don't know if it should be...
You're not
Man,
fooling
good-
anybody.
Holy mother, this yodeling music is overwhelming. Overwhelming.
Who put the alphabet in alphabetical order?
It's a good one.
Is an argument between two vegans still called a beef?
Oh, that's a touchy subject. Next one.
If God created
my
the sun on the
gosh.
fourth day, how had 4 days passed?
Okay.
I'm glad that a lot of people are listening to this right now.
These are thinkers.
Turning us off in droves.
These
I
are
can feel it.
thinkers.
What if
look
there
up-
were no hypothetical questions?
Ah.
That one particularly piqued Justin's interest.
If you store a Pokemon in the PC, does it become a Digimon?
Oh.
Some of these are really good.
If Eve doomed the human race for an apple, what would she do for a Klondike bar?
The stunned silence after contemplating the question and then just like in between.
If parents teach us don't take candy from strangers, then why do we celebrate Halloween? What's another word for synonym?
I had to think, what was I about to say?
Just
The
like an oil
opposite.
painting over here, you guys just staring at me.
I was really thinking about that one.
What do people in China call their good plates?
Wow. Okay.
In France, is French kissing just called kissing?
Are
What-
they just called fries? No, they're called chips.
Was Hitler's speech proofreader a literal grammar Nazi?
Wow.
Jesus Christ.
If two mind readers read each other's mind, whose mind are they reading?
Okay.
And finally,
Mindception.
if you give a Ford Fiesta Adderall, will it become a Ford Focus? These are the questions that keep me up at night,
Wow. Bravo.
ladies and gentlemen.
Bravo.
Oh my god, and to this day you impress me because the song is about to end.
Oh God. Once
What
again,
a
I'd like
beautiful
to
wrap-up to our segment.
Once again, I'd like to apologize to our listeners.
Honestly, I wouldn't.
Please bear with
That was
us.
incredibly timed. That was almost rehearsed, and we promise you that we do not rehearse this.
People are going to have some existential.
That actually
crisis.
came out perfectly well on pure dumb luck. I was copy pasting these questions off the internet this morning at 6 a.m. So I was barely even comprehending the questions I was finding.
If we can stick on that one about Photoshop with if athletes aren't allowed to use steroids, are models allowed to use Photoshop? That is an interesting point.
It's true.
That is actually legitimately interesting.
It's a lie. It's just a lie. It's one big lie.
Lies.
Just saying. What's her name? What's her name from Friends?
Chiming in really
Phoebe?
quick here.
No.
If
TJ Keen. Hello.
Hello. Professional models weren't allowed to use Photoshop, it'd probably help with the whole
Body positivity
yeah,
thing.
exactly, body image problem that people have. So there's actually a slight good thing to go there, but honestly, that's just hilarious, frankly.
Oh God, I'm just. It's just
I love the idea of just like people doing these things, and of course it's from a mind that doesn't understand, but you can just not take steroids or just not use Photoshop. You can just not.
Well, don't say that. I mean, there's a whole department downstairs teaching people how to use Photoshop right now. Don't.
That's true. That's true.
We're about to have some
Photoshop
people,
is amazing, as are the
we're gonna have
people in
some
the
people
Photoshop
pounding on our
department.
door right now.
Don't take the wind out of their sails. They're going to come up here with their digital pens trying to.
If you come to me with any complaints,
laser
my name is
pointers.
DJ Supremus.
Oh, that's right. I haven't pimped any of our social media yet. So don't forget, you can get us on Facebook at Griffin Radio 119. Our Instagram is Griffin Radio SD. You can hear us on the TuneIn app for Android and iPhone. Look for the Griffin Radio channel. And you can also, of course, catch us on grossmont.edu/Griffin Radio. And I welcome any comments or opinions you guys might have to DJ. I cannot get my own email address.
That's okay.
lunchboxthedj at gmail.com.
Yeah.
I want a DJ Lunchbox, but it was taken already, so
Wow,
I'm still
that
stuck
is-
on that.
that is horrible.
Lunchboxthedj at gmail.com. If you have any stories or anything you'd like to hear on the air, send them to me, and if I deem them appropriate and clean enough, then, of course, I will put them on.
Have you gotten any really good suggestions yet?
My inbox is just a windy cave. There is nothing in there. It is so empty
sounds like my
and
love life.
lonely.
Oh God.
So, once again, Breakfast of Imbeciles here with DJ Lunchbox. I've got my cadre of fancy lads here sitting across the desk with me.
DJ Thunderstruck.
And DJ B. Millie, that's me.
And DJ Keen sitting here with us as well. So now that we've been vamping for half an hour, we can probably actually do some news now.
Ooh.
Let's see.
My body's ready.
Oh.
A Japanese member of parliament apologized on Thursday for jeering a lung cancer patient testifying about the dangers of secondhand smoke, saying he had spoken out to prevent discrimination against smokers. Japan lags many countries in efforts to fight smoking, with attempts to tackle tobacco often stymied by pro-smoking politicians, restaurateurs, and Japan Tobacco, which is 1/3 owned by the government. The government itself has a 1/3 share stake in one of the largest tobacco companies in Japan. They've owned it for 100 years.
Wow, gotta make that money.
Yoichi Anami, the ruling party MP, shouted, "Enough already!" at a hearing last week when Kazuo Hasegawa, a 47-year-old non-smoker with stage 4 lung cancer, was testifying about the dangers of secondhand smoke. Amani's jeer sparked widespread criticism on social media and on Thursday. He issued a statement to say he was sorry if he'd caused any, quote, unpleasant feelings. "I just murmured my feelings that smokers should not be discriminated against more than necessary," he said on his website. He did not refer directly to Hasegawa, except to say he had no intention of interfering with the witness of a statement of witness.
Yeah.
Hasegawa told Reuters he did not believe his ears at first. "I'd actually just said it would be all right if there were places to smoke outdoors when I was jeered, and this was so contradictory I wondered if he'd even been listening, which made me even sadder. Some people who smoke have been criticized so much they feel they're being attacked and get angry. Perhaps that was the case with him." MPs were discussing a bill to limit passive smoking in public areas ahead of the 2020 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. Activists say about 15,000 Japanese, many of them men and women, die from passive smoking every year. So this dude gets up
That's
and
unbelievable.
he's pro-tobacco. He is telling that he doesn't want to give smokers a bad name. So he's standing there totally shilling for the tobacco industry that is owned by the government he's a part of.
It really makes me think about, like, especially with stuff like that, like bad PR and stuff like that. It makes me think, oh man, everybody says they want to be famous, but like, do you really? Because you mess up one thing and the whole world knows. Again, granted, this guy could be just like a mean individual. I don't know, but like, some people that aren't mean will like just say the wrong thing, and it's like instantly.
I agree with that. Sometimes something can be
Yeah.
taken out of context, or it was just it was simply an unthinking comment. But
Not
there's a
in this
time and a
case.
place.
Yeah.
If you were standing in front of somebody with stage 4 lung cancer talking about smoking, there is not any place in that discussion to be saying, you know what, smokers, chill out. You know, just leave them alone a little bit.
Plus, this is a functioning member of like the government, like a representative of like the governmental, like what your country should be doing.
Yeah, he's just standing up there trying to tell them that cigarettes aren't that bad.
Smoke. Not now, Jerry.
God, I can't get over that. Are you smoking yet? Oh,
Smoking yet?
I love.
Oh man.
Let's see.
That is really interesting, though.
Let's see. Behind this apartment, a tough guy is boxing, throwing left and right hooks and jabs, and lunging forward enough to make any passing criminal think twice before breaking in. However, this image is nothing more than a projected shadow, one that Japanese apartment management companies hope will protect and reassure women living by themselves. So, this company came out with the shadow projectors, like you see at Halloween, where people put like dancing skeletons in their windows. But it's just some dude sitting there boxing or shaving or playing the violin or swinging a baseball bat in the apartment. And so it's supposed to make people believe that there's a man home.
Oh God!
So how sad is that? The world is just so crappy that women are now trying to come up with ways to fool people into thinking that women are protected. A, that's sexist. I got a man home, so I'm safe. B, that women need, or there's circumstances in which some women would feel the need to have that kind of protection, that just being by themselves, they're in some sort of danger. Mm-hmm. But the sad thing about this is it is incredibly obvious exactly what it is, because it's a big freaking bright square coming out their window, and the guy's standing doing the same motions for hours at a time. And so they're saying it actually has the opposite effect, where it's now announcing to people that might want to harm somebody that there's probably somebody living at home.
True. That's what my point was like, it just sounds dumb. Like, what a dumb idea.
Yeah, it was really stupid.
Actually, that sounds almost dangerous to me. Like you were saying, it's announcing. It's not only announcing there's somebody home, it's announcing there's somebody home so insecure and protecting herself that she feels she needs this.
Yeah, it's sort of
so she's an easy target for you.
What's the phenomenon in nature? Broken winged bird. Yeah. So it's sort of announcing, not only am I alone, but I'm afraid of being alone. Therefore, I'm probably weak and frail. Anyway, it's just the whole thing.
It's just dumb.
It's
a dumb idea.
I appreciate the sentiment behind it, that somebody was trying to solve a problem.
Yeah.
But A, it's completely the wrong way to go about solving the problem, and B, it's just there's words that I want to use that I can't because where I am. Oh, I didn't even turn.
I'll use the word over and over is dumb. It's a dumb idea.
I mean, if you want, you could just spend $10, pay me, and I'll stand inside your window and start shadow boxing, ladies.
Yeah, but you get winded so easily. After about 10 minutes, you'd just be like,
"This is meant to protect them from creepers, Jesse."
That's a good point, because you would have to be inside their house, and that's already part of the problem.
That is true. I might raid their refrigerator as well.
And you said this product is where?
This was in Japan, where all strange things.
The gift that keeps on giving. The people that gave us anime.
Yeah, you'd be in their fridge just molesting a ham sandwich. Is what you'd be doing.
Guilty as charged. Lock me up and throw away the key. Ham. Oh God.
It's too late to play it.
No,
the timing is critical to everything. Let's see. Take the highway past the Dutch village of Yelsum, and the road will play you a tune. Created by strategically laid rumble strips as a way of livening up journeys across the flat landscape, the novelty has worn thin for locals who say the constant droning melody is driving them mad.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
The tune is created when car tires drive over the strips, which are usually deployed at the side of major roads to warn drivers if they are straying off course. If hit at the correct speed, 40 miles per hour, the road will sing the national anthem of the Friesland region, a northern part of the Netherlands that has a distinct language and culture. But it is loud and the sound travels at night, and locals say the musical road has created a never-ending cacophony that keeps them awake at night. So, if any of you have ever gone down the 125 and you hit the strips going down, they have set these on the side of the road where when you drive over it with your tires, it plays a song. And I actually recorded it here. The recording's not great. It's the best one I could find. It's recorded from inside somebody's car.
Okay.
But now imagine hearing this all day long, all day, all night, at different tempos depending on how fast people are driving.
This is where?
This is in the Netherlands.
I know there's a road somewhere in America that does the same
This is
thing.
not this is a surprisingly common thing.
Yeah.
They're all over the place, but
musical roads are.
This is a fairly small village that they did this in, so everybody who lives there can hear it when people drive over it.
Those poor people. Those poor people.
And then what if you have somebody like driving immediately behind you and the song's out of tune, like exactly.
So you're
remix.
You're hearing this anthem performed in rounds, and so yeah. So
I feel like some people would have fun with it though, like you said, like a remix. Like, hey, dude, let's just beat the side of our cars to give it a downbeat.
Oh man.
Fortunately, the city authority has agreed to remove the rumble strips, so the villagers can get some sleep.
Happy ending. Happy ending
I
for
just
everybody.
found that. Did nobody think about that ahead of time
at all?
Do you guys? Do you think this would be irritating? You think this would bother anybody? No, it's fine. We're all patriotic here. It's good.
They shouldn't be removing it. They should be replacing it with like the nation's lullaby instead of the anthem.
Maybe they should, like you guys were talking about with the remix, just add in just a big bass strip, so you hear on your car. It's like speed bumps. So every time you're hitting that,
throw in some Metallica, something.
Or like every month they have road work there. That would be even more annoying. But every month they have road work to change the song.
Let's switch it up.
How that side of the road would just be shut down. They're either always putting in a new song or tearing it up. And
but I think the ones that are in America are on like highways, like freeways, I believe, like not near any residential areas.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
I'm pretty sure
that was a lovely sound, wasn't it?
Yeah, well,
that's my thinking.
You made it work. You made it work.
I used to do that to one of the girls I worked with, and she'd just watch The Grudge, and she never let me in her office for a month.
Oh goodness!
Because I'd walk up behind her. Let's see. A man in northeastern China who always wanted his own aircraft is doing the next best thing, building a full-scale replica of an Airbus A320 jet. Today he is a man. Really, who here can honestly say they've never wanted to have their very own 36-ton, 103-foot-long narrow-body airliner with retractable tricycle landing and powered by a 2-wing pylon-mounted turbofan engines with seating for 150? I've wanted that since I was a child in my backyard.
Every boy's dream.
He has a rocket in his backyard. That's very interesting.
Yeah, he is building by piece himself. He's buying all the pieces to assemble this replica at his house.
I wish I know, man.
Zhu Yue, an aviation buff who worked as a welder and an auto mechanic, spent months studying plane models and technical drawings before he started building a homemade version years ago with his friends. Zhu, 40, who lives in the city of Kaiyuan in Liaoning province, said he planned to turn the replica into an aviation-themed restaurant.
Look, Zhu.
Okay, so he's
everything the rocket touches is our kingdom. Okay. What about all those backyards over there? We don't go there, Zhu.
Oh, God. So this guy's not actually trying to fly this thing.
No, he just wants to have one. So he's doing the next best thing, and he's building a rep.
Okay, well then
that is actually very cool.
Nothing wrong with
it's 124 feet long with a wingspan of 118 feet, and it's 40 feet tall. It'll feature model engine turbines that actually rotate with a simulation cockpit. He spent more than $158,000 of his savings, has used 40 tons of steel, and hopes to complete it by the end of the year at a total cost of $317,620.
That really could be, though, like a tourist attraction. Like if he turned that into like a hotel or something, I would go and stay in a rocket ship hotel. That's like not like themed rocket ship, like, oh my gosh, go into the room and it's like got little blasters to turn on the shower. But literally sleeping in the closest I can get to a rocket ship, I'd pay good money for that.
Okay, you know what? You're putting a more positive spin on it. I read the story and in my head I heard, but I don't see it that way.
I just hope he splurges on the cockpit. You got to make sure it's very very spacey. It's very big.
Well, he said it's going to be a simulation, so
I think
cockpit,
it'll be.
Yeah.
I think it'll be good if he
Definitely.
like turns it around into like a sort of investment, like
There you go.
$317,000 for a grown human being to put a rocket ship in their backyard sounds silly, but if he turns it into like
no, not a rocket. This is a passenger jet.
Oh.
He's just building a passenger jet in his backyard because he wants one. Not even a functioning one. He just
because he wants one.
I want this.
I'm getting a vision of a whole lot of when he was a child, begging his parents for a treehouse,
A rocket ship bed,
a race car thing, and he didn't get it. And this is all just boiling out. There's a lot of Freudian layers here. I can feel it.
Can I? Now that we're on rocket ship beds, I just wanted a quick segue. A quick segue into an issue that I have with that show. Do you guys remember that show, Extreme Makeover Home Edition?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you remember when they would like theme the rooms for the kids? Like, oh my God, here's the jungle room. That kid's gonna get bored of that in a hot 3 months, and then for the next 2-3 years of his life, he's gonna have a jungle themed room.
Or he's gonna be like 13 years old.
Yeah, and then when he wants to bring any of his lovers over, like, oh hey, by the way, like my room's a jungle room for a toddler.
Okay, he could actually make that work. He just plays in the jungle in the background when he brings the girl home.
What is this? What's
Africa
going
by
on here?
Toto.
Where am I?
But yeah, when he brings like any lover of any kind over, it's just like, oh, by the way, like my room's a jungle, literally.
I feel I should warn you.
I feel I should, like, right? Like, I love Extreme Makeover Home Edition because they help people in need, but also, like, that's also a dumb idea. Like,
dress up like George of the Jungle.
He said that he liked a dinosaur one time, so you're gonna make his whole room prehistoric for 3-4 plus years.
That is awful. You have to live with that. That just reminds me when I was younger. Yeah, I showed slight interest in Mickey Mouse, and then my whole room was plastered with Disney characters. I had the covers, I had the pillowcases, I had the pictures, the stickers on the wall, the whole thing, the whole shebang. Now just imagine, I even feel like growing up, I was like a 12, 13-year-old, I still had slight remnants of those. And then just one day I had to be like, you know what, I'm putting my foot down. I'm getting older. I can't be sleeping with a Mickey Mouse comforter. This isn't right.
The lesson here, parents, don't theme your children's bedrooms.
Exactly. But
no matter who pays for it.
But you know what now? You know what irritates me now, though?
What does?
As we get older,
please enlighten me.
Get older, in an age where every woman you speak to has an annual pass for Disneyland, I feel like just now, if a woman walked into my room and it was plastered with Disney, she would probably just. She would probably get excited.
That's an extremely judgmental statement. I don't
believe
know how
at
to
all
follow
up
that.
on that.
I don't believe at all that every woman has an annual pass to Disneyland.
Almost everyone. Almost all.
I don't know any. I know,
and they pay like thousands of dollars.
I was going to say
year.
I don't know anybody that has. I don't think I know anybody that.
I think I know two people that have
pass.
an annual pass, and one of them's a guy. So,
well,
but
tell them to take me.
But also, like, I don't. I know we're getting off the news, so I'm just gonna wrap this up.
This
really
is
quick.
heat. No,
but
this
I
is
don't
heated
get
convo.
As somebody who has grown up so close to Disneyland, I don't get the hype. I don't get how everybody's like it's literally
if it's in
the
your
happiest
backyard.
place.
That's exactly. Like
it's like anything else, but still, it's like anything else. Like the beach, like people would love to experience the beach that live in like the Midwest or something like that. But to me, it's like it's just sandy and like wet. And
it's funny you say that
unless I'm surfing, it's not fun.
It's really funny you say that because I've lived here my whole life for the most part. I'm originally from North County.
Oh wow!
It's never really penetrated my brain once I got past 11 years old that we have a zoo.
Oh yeah.
And this summer we finally decided to get some annual zoo passes. Now I want to go all the time.
Yeah, and
it's
not
just
just
something
a
I never
zoo.
think about.
Not just a zoo. I think one of, if technically not the greatest zoo that exists in the world, is in San Diego.
Oh, it's fantastic. Have you been there recently and seen the new bridge they put in? The huge.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's unbelievable. But I think like literally it is one of the most diverse zoos in terms of the species that we have there. It's
definitely one of the things to do in San
highly
Diego,
recommend going.
especially if you're a tourist,
Yes.
or even if you're not.
Yes.
Actually, we should make a note of that and write something down to do for the zoo to add in. 'Cause
Yeah.
that would be good something.
Yeah.
It's very educational.
There you go.
Let's see.
Nothing, I'm feeling nothing. And he said nothing could get a girl transferred. They all felt something.
A Philippine man who's been nailed to a cross every Easter for the past 32 years in a Good Friday reenactment of Jesus Christ's crucifixion says he no longer feels any pain from his wounds. Ruben Inahe, 58, again portrayed Christ last Friday, the last Friday on Easter, in traditional religious rite in Kutud village, about 76 kilometers from the capital of Manila. In the past, I went home injured and limping, but this year I feel so great, he said after the ritual held under a sweltering sun. He believed his strong Catholic faith helped him avoid pain.
Now, I'm not the most religious person in the world, but didn't Jesus suffer so that you didn't have to? Like, didn't he do
point.
that?
Yeah.
Wasn't that the whole point? Was that
the whole
like
point.
you didn't have to because he did?
I think Jesus.
Or
would be
maybe I'm getting that wrong.
I think Jesus would be looking down like, "What the heck?
Why?
What the heck, man? You're stealing my shtick."
Well,
that's my thing.
It's totally macabre because if you're going to I don't understand why he's only going it halfway. He's going through with the nails and getting put in, but if you're going to go that far, why aren't you doing the whole rest of it with the thorns and the spear and the?
Right. Well, I mean, is he disappearing 3 days?
Constantine.
Is he disappearing for 3 days afterwards? I mean, I don't know.
And
he probably has to recover. So yeah.
And another thing is like usually topics like religion can be a little too controversial for the radio, but when it's something like this where you're just nailing yourself,
like, is that really necessary?
He's not necessary. I don't know if he's nailing himself. He's like the centerpiece of a parade.
Oh my!
So there's this big freaking cross that he's nailed to, and people are carrying him through the city. So it's not like he's at home in his house just kind of doing this and then blogging about it.
That is unbelievable.
You can't use a sculpture or like a dummy. Like, is that really necessary?
A model of anything?
Like, and I feel like this guy's doing this out of the kindness of his heart for his faith and his religion. I don't feel like this guy's getting paid like $20 an hour for this.
The intention is there, but
he's enjoying
follow through.
For 32 years. I mean, he said, "I feel like God is telling me, go ahead, keep it up." It's like,
that's what you get from this.
That's what he said.
That's what he takes from this.
But he just simply he doesn't feel anything anymore, and so he said he feels strong enough to perform in 2 or 3 more crucifixions until he turns 60, and he just simply doesn't feel anything in his hands anymore.
God bless this man.
Let's see. He was among 3 devotees nailed to wooden crosses in the village on Friday, including a woman taking part for the 7th time. So they've got some people there who are just
wow. That is unreal.
They're really going for it.
They are devoted.
That's unreal.
Actors wearing Roman soldier costumes attached the devotees to the crosses by hammering 2-inch nails soaked in alcohol through their hands and feet and hoisted them up in a field packed with domestic and foreign tourists.
The fact that they actually like nail through their hands,
that's
man,
unbelievable.
That is just makes me cringe.
How do you find these things?
That's awful.
You mean me, these stories, or the people in this village who apparently want to have people drive nails through their hands?
Am I sensing
also from column A,
am I
little column
sensing
B.
like a theme today too? Because all of our stories have come from Japan, China, and the Philippines. Like, what is going on today?
No, it was just everything.
Happy coincidence.
Everything was perfectly random.
Yeah.
The Catholic Church in the Philippines tolerates the ritual, but says it does not support such gory displays of devotion, describing it as a misinterpretation of faith.
Good idea, Catholic Church in the Philippines.
Idea.
Good and solid idea to not be a part of that in any way. All right, guys.
I want to do. Do you want to stick around for one more, or you got to get out of here?
Yeah, I got class at 10.
Okay, then I will.
minutes.
Then I'll save this story because I think this one would have been funny for you.
He'll save the good
Thank you
ones.
guys so much for having me. I always love being on.
Thanks for joining us.
It's always a pleasure.
Oh my
Be
God,
Millie,
it's-
everybody.
Thank
Be
you
Millie.
guys. Thank you.
We will miss you.
Nice. Not thrilling, but nice.
Oh God.
I didn't have my applause track up, so that was the second best. See you later. Let's see. So we'll do one more story here. Breakfast of Imbeciles. Keen, you want to slide in and join us for this last one here?
All right, let's do this. I'm ready for coffee, ladies and gentlemen.
Haha, B. Millie is gone, and I have taken his place.
How dare you?
Yeah, I love you too, Jesse.
How dare you sit where he sat?
Let's see.
You like it?
This story was just bizarre, but somehow it fits in so perfectly with today's culture.
Delicious.
So, a sofa was left on a sidewalk somewhere, as couches tend to be. No big deal. Abandoned couch. But for some reason, then people started adding things like curtains, a plant, coffee table, and a rug. So people just decorated it and made a little living room set on the sidewalk.
Wow. Wow.
Now the couch has its own hashtag. Hashtag the couch. And so, weirdly enough, the city said, okay, we'll go ahead and get this out of the way because it's starting to take up a whole bunch of room on the sidewalk here. Right. But they're going to preserve it. So they're moving it somewhere, and it's basically now an art installation. Somebody just left they threw away a couch on the sidewalk, presumably waiting for the trash guys to come pick it up. And some wag decided, hey, you know what would be really funny is if I give this a floor lamp. And it just took off from there. Wow. People started decorating it, and now it's an art installation that the city had to reassure people that they were preserving.
And where was this? Where does it say where this
Florida,
is?
Florida,
of course.
Florida.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Wow. Just imagine being the guy who threw that sofa out like a few months ago.
Kicking himself.
I've seen it all over social media. Like, what the heck? That's my sofa.
Oh.
No, the worst part would be if he didn't throw it out far enough. It's like near his house, and now people just built an entire living room on the street near his house.
There you go. There you go. How's that for an Airbnb?
You know, I had another thought here. Maybe this was just his way of moving.
There you go.
He's planning for the long term. He's just going to put his stuff out. You know, they don't actually say where any of the other additional furniture came from. So maybe he was moving his own furniture out there and just gambled that the city would take it somewhere he wanted to go.
There you go.
So I guess if he wants to live in an art installation museum somewhere, then...
That's just, oh, God. Like, I want to know what kind of sofa it was. If it's like a black leather couch or... Oh, jeez.
Oh, you know, there were strips probably ripped out of it and stuffing.
Like all tattered up.
Yeah, a lot of...
Got the springs popping
cat
out.
Claw marks on all four corners.
Reeks of cat urine.
Yes. Hot Cheeto dust all over it.
Oh, God. Sounds like my
sounds like
couch
home.
at home. Yeah.
I'm homesick now. Well, I think we can wrap it up here at this point.
Yes, wrap it up, ladies and gentlemen. Use
I'm
protection.
going upstairs now and think about more comments for tomorrow.
What in the world? I don't know where you find these things. You're a sick
Where
man.
else would I find them? YouTube, internet, just all over the place. I am DJ Lunchbox here on Griffin Radio.
With DJ Thunderstruck.
And DJ Keen for the last few minutes.
And we were, of course, joined by DJ B. Millie earlier. This has been Breakfast of Imbeciles every Tuesday and Thursday from 9 to 10 p.m. Don't forget to check out Griffin Radio on Griffin Radio 119. Instagram, you can find us Griffin Radio SD. On the TuneIn app for your Android and iPhone, you can look us up at the Griffin Radio channel. You can also listen to us on grossmont.edu/Griffin Radio. And don't forget to hit me up at my email, lunchboxthedj@gmail.com. I appreciate your questions, concerns, and comments. And if you have anything you might like to hear played on the air, please be sure to let me know. Thank you very much, everybody. We are going to head out. This is Take Me to Church by Hosier.
My lover's got humor. She's the giggle at a funeral. Knows